Before we begin Chapter 2, let's quickly revisit the central lesson from Chapter 1. Small habits may appear insignificant today, but when repeated consistently, their effects compound into remarkable results. A 1% improvement may be difficult to notice in the moment, but time magnifies the direction of every repeated action. Good habits can build you up, while bad habits can quietly pull you down. Progress is often delayed. Your effort may be accumulating beneath the surface, even when visible results have not appeared yet. And the chapter's final lesson was clear. Goals may provide direction, but systems are what create progress. But once we understand that habits compound, a deeper question appears. Why do some habits last while others fade? Chapter 2 answers that by showing how your habits shape your identity and how your identity shapes your habits. Now let's get straight into Chapter 2, how your habits shape your identity and vice versa. Why do so many people set the same goal every January, begin with real motivation, and still return to the same behavior a few weeks later? The problem may not be the goal, it may be the person they still believe themselves to be. Chapter 2 begins with a difficult question. Why are unwanted habits so easy to repeat, while good habits often become exhausting after only a few days? James Clear argues that we usually make one of two mistakes. We change the wrong thing, or we try to change it in the wrong way. This chapter focuses on the first mistake. To explain what you usually try to change, Clear presents 3 layers of behavior change. The outer layer is your outcomes. The middle layer is your processes. The deepest layer is your identity. These layers answer 3 different questions. What do you want? What do you do? And what do you believe about yourself? Your outcomes describe the results you want: losing weight, earning more, finishing a book, winning a competition. Your processes describe the systems and routines that move you there: training, budgeting, writing, practicing, and preparing. And your identity sits underneath both. It contains the beliefs, assumptions, and self-image that influence which behaviors feel natural to you. None of these layers is useless. Your goals can clarify your direction, and your processes create movement. The problem is the direction in which you attempt to change. Most people begin on the outside with the results and hope the new behavior will eventually alter who they are. Identity-based change begins inside and works outward. Understanding who you are is key. James Clear illustrates the difference with 2 people refusing a cigarette. The first person says they are trying to quit. The sentence sounds reasonable, but it still places smoker at the center of the person's identity. The second person says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." The behavior is no longer a temporary struggle. It reflects a different self-image. That small change in language reveals a much larger change in belief. One person is attempting a new behavior while carrying the old identity. The other has placed the unwanted habit outside the person they now believe themselves to be. The stronger the conflict between a habit and self-image, the harder that habit becomes to maintain. Every system of actions rests on a system of beliefs. You may want to save more, but if you continue to see yourself mainly as a consumer, spending will keep feeling natural. You may want better health, but if comfort is central to your identity, training will continue to feel like a violation rather than an expression of self. The story of entrepreneur Brian Clark makes this more concrete. He had bitten his fingernails for years. He managed to stop long enough for them to grow, then scheduled a manicure. He initially thought paying for nail care would prevent him from biting them again, but something more important happened. For the first time, he felt proud of how his nails looked. The habit did not merely become financially inconvenient. Biting his nails became inconsistent with something he now respected about himself. Pride created a reason to protect the new behavior. This is the chapter's deeper point. Motivation becomes more durable when a habit becomes part of your identity. This changes the way we describe goals. The deeper goal is not merely to finish one book, but to become someone who reads. It is not merely to complete one race, but to become someone who trains. It is not merely to perform one song, but to become someone who practices music consistently. When behavior and identity align, the action requires less internal negotiation. A person who sees exercise as part of who they are does not have to restart the entire argument every morning. The behavior becomes consistent with the story they already believe. But identity is a double-edged force. It can support better habits, and it can trap you inside old behavior. Negative statements such as, "I am always late," "I am bad with money," or "I am not a morning person," can begin as descriptions and gradually become instructions. The mind starts protecting that identity, even when it limits or prevents your growth. Progress sometimes requires unlearning the stories that once felt permanent. Your identity is not a fixed object. It is a set of beliefs that can be edited as new evidence accumulates. The goal is not to deny your past. It is to stop treating the past as the only evidence allowed to define your future. If identity can change, where does the new identity come from? Clear's answer is habits. You are not born believing that you are organized, athletic, creative, disciplined, or unreliable. These beliefs are learned through experience. Repeated actions provide the evidence from which self-image is built. James Clear uses his own writing career as an example. He did not begin with a deeply established identity as a writer. He repeatedly published articles on a schedule. As the work accumulated, so did the evidence. He did not wait to feel like a writer before writing. Writing repeatedly helped him become one. Think of every action as a ballot cast for a future version of yourself. One workout is one vote for an athletic identity. One page is one vote for a reading identity. One prepared meeting is one vote for a professional identity. No single vote decides the entire election, but repeated votes gradually create a majority. This metaphor also removes the demand for perfection. One missed workout is a vote in the opposite direction, but it does not erase every previous vote. You do not need a unanimous result. You need enough action supporting the identity you want to strengthen. This creates a two-way relationship. Your habit shapes your identity by supplying evidence. Your identity shapes your habits by making certain actions feel consistent with who you are. This loop can strengthen itself in either direction. Better actions support a better self-image, and a stronger self-image makes better actions easier to repeat. James Clear reduces identity change to two practical steps. First, decide the kind of person you want to become. Second, prove that identity to yourself with small wins. The order matters. First, choose the identity, then select actions that provide believable evidence for it. You can work backward from a result. Suppose you want to write a book. Ask, what kind of person could produce that result? Probably someone consistent, patient, and reliable. The immediate target is no longer finish a book. It becomes cast one vote for being a consistent writer. Then write one paragraph. Clear describes a woman who lost substantial weight by repeatedly asking what a healthy person would do. Walk or take a taxi. Choose the nourishing option or the convenient one. The question gave daily decisions an identity-based standard. She did not need every choice to be perfect. She needed enough choices to support the new identity. This principle is reflected in the lives of many high achievers. Satya Nadella exemplifies a learning-oriented leadership mindset, continuously fostering curiosity and growth within organizations. Kobe Bryant embodied the identity of a lifelong student, relentlessly refining his craft through discipline and deliberate practice. Sarah Blakely demonstrated resilience by acting on her vision long before receiving external validation. In each case, their identity provided a compelling reason to persist, making consistent effort a natural expression of who they were rather than simply what they did. In each case, identity gives repeated effort a deeper reason. Now make the chapter personal. Do not begin only with the result you want. Complete this sentence. I am the kind of person who. Then choose one action small enough to provide evidence today. A reader opens one page. A prepared professional reviews tomorrow's priorities. A healthy person takes a short walk. A reliable leader keeps one promise. Here is what to carry with you today. The person you practice being is the person you become. Every repeated act introduces you to yourself. Results may attract your attention, but identity is what gives your habit roots. Now, complete this sentence in the comments. I am the kind of person who. Then finish it with the identity you are choosing to build. Chapter 2 has shown you what your habits are shaping, your identity, but it does not yet explain how your habit actually forms. Chapter 3 reveals the four-step loop behind every habit: cue, craving, response, and reward. and turns it into a practical system for change. Before moving on, take a moment to apply what you have learned. Download the free Chapter 2 Action Guide using the link in the description. It will help you define the person you want to become, identify the old beliefs that may be holding you back, and begin collecting real evidence for your new identity. Turn the lesson into action, then continue to Chapter 3.